every week we start by talking about money because it's nice to have money to do all the things you want to do in your life. And to help us with that, we have Darren Farwell of the Farwell Group. Farwell Group. It's changed, and now because it's on Facebook, Farwell Group, so I'm stuttering. And Darren, thank you for helping me out. Last Saturday, Leslie McCormick from your team was in, and she shared a happy story about her client who was able to make a positive decision based on solid information. It was sort of like, you can do this or you can do that with the numbers, decide what you want to do and do it comfortably. And the happy story was that the woman was able to retire on her own terms, knowing her options. So what do you have for us today?
Well, it's great to have stories about people making informed decisions. And Marilyn, I know how much you like happy stories. Heck, I like happy stories too. So I assure you at the end of our time together today that I will have a happy story to share. But before I get to that, out of respect and concern for our From a Woman's Perspective listeners, I'm going to start this morning kind of pounding the table. Now, I'm by nature a calm, optimistic guy, and history has confirmed the wisdom of a positive view for the future. As such, I don't often pound the table and get too excited, but this morning I am. Earning 7 to 10% returns in the stock market is never an easy thing to do, but it's about to get a lot harder. A few weeks ago, on From a Woman's Perspective, I spoke about how the volatile stock market in early February was a sign of a fundamental shift in the outlook for the stock market, particularly in the U.S., but other markets around the world as well. More or less, other markets around the world will follow the U.S. lead. My team, our process, is real-time, every day, evaluating forecast average annual rates of return in all of the major economies of the world, U.S., Europe, Asia, emerging markets, and Canada. Since February, major global research firms like BlackRock, RAFI, Northern Trust Global Advisors, and the Macro Research Board have all ratcheted down forecast returns. Based on my personal professional process for connecting the dots, combined with the research from highly credible global firms, as I mentioned above, we are making changes. In a meeting just yesterday with a major client, we did two things. We shifted some profits to cash, and we sold some highly profitable U.S.-based investments and shifted those funds to international investments. Now, before I get too scary, although I think at this point in time there's a little reason to be scared, long-term investors who resist the urge to sell quality investments at a bad time will, as always, be fine. Quality investments grow in value over time, period. Jeremy Siegel, Professor Emeritus at Wharton School of Economics, has done substantial long-term studies that confirm quality real estate over the long term earns about 6.9% net of all costs. Quality, prudently diversified portfolios of stocks over the long term net of costs earn 7.1%. Heck, even quality ladies' fashion like Birkin purses are known to grow in value over time. Long term is fine. It's the short to mid-term that could prove challenging as we look forward from today. Though we still and very well may have 1 to 2 years of good growth in the market, things could change very shortly at this point. Those who plan for the changes in this investment cycle, the cycle that is coming, will protect their wealth and be in a position to take advantage of changing circumstances. Those who do not plan and prepare will see hard-fought gains quickly disappear. So I'm pounding the table this morning. This is the time to review your investments and consider whether you are properly prepared for the shifting landscape. Now, to shift to a bit happier story.
Oh, please do, because the idea that a storm is looming is not exactly optimistic.
No, but if a storm is looming, I guess it's time to get the sails and ship ready for it.
Exactly. Be prepared. So review your investments. I'm going to say that you always have said that it's never too late to get a second opinion and to evaluate and regroup or to make a plan. So if you're sitting there and this ominous sounding Darren Farwell has shaken your reality a little and you want some comfort and some good information, Darren, you offer a complimentary consultation, right?
I do, yes.
And I'm just going to give out the number now because I think you've shaken some people's reality. You definitely shake mine because you're usually so optimistic. 416-863-7501 for a complimentary consultation, a second opinion, actually a talk about what's bothering you and how you want to do your investing and get your answers from Darren. And I'll say the Farwell Group because there's a whole team of all different people who have different information to pool so that you give every aspect of a report, right?
Yes. And my happy story actually has a little bit to do with my team that
good.
you were talking about.
Well, now I'm ready for happy stories.
All right. Well, it's an easy one. Today, a number of the larger firms are focusing on much larger accounts. And as a result, young adults, young professionals can find it difficult to access quality professional advice because, well, their accounts just aren't big enough. A client of mine, Suresh, called me because his brother's daughter had been working with an advisor at a big firm, but she was told she had to move her account. The fact was that, well, it just wasn't big enough. Now, Vanya had done a very good job, actually, of saving. A woman in her early 30s had $300,000 in RSPs and tax-free savings account, plus some other savings. Quite exceptional at her age. However, that wasn't big enough, and she was asked to move her account. Now, Vanya likes the human touch, so she didn't want to go to a robo-advisor or a self-managed discount firm, so Suresh asked if I could help. I said yes. In fact, I have a young professional, a millennial, on my team. He's there to work with young adults, young professionals, and those who really, in fact, enjoy digital media with some personal touch. So, for example, a number of my clients have their adult children working with Patrick. His name is Patrick. Patrick runs a Facebook page called the Farwell Group, so you could go on Facebook and like the Farwell Group, please. You're free to visit and like our page and also connect to Patrick through the email on the Facebook page. So if you're a young professional just getting started with, more than $250,000 in total savings, feel free to connect with me. I'll connect you through Patrick, connect through the Facebook page. There we deal with things like how to manage mortgages, how to use first-time home buyers, how to manage your mortgage debt. We review proven long-term investment strategies. We talk about the hierarchy of savings. If you only have so much money, where should you save it first? And as a result of the connection I made with Patrick and Vanya are already working together, and she seems very happy with that.
Well, that's very nice. It's a happy story, and it's one that lets people know that if they have someone young in their family who wants investment advice, this isn't just all about Zoomers. We're all Zoomering to our future, that the Farwell Group has young and old investors and young and old advisors. I'm actually dealing with Patrick and learning about Facebook through him, and congratulations on the Farwell Group Facebook page.
Thank you, Marilyn.
So, Farwell Group, a group of people headed by Darren Farwell who will help you invest so that you have a roadmap for retirement. Young and old are welcome. A complimentary consultation is available. A second opinion is available. You can't do anything wrong by asking, and you will get informed decision. You'll be able to make an informed decision based on the information you get. Darren's been doing this since 1986, and his team is assorted ages, men and women, so feel free to call. And Darren, are you going to work today?
I am going to work this morning, Marilyn, and anybody who'd like to ever come downtown to meet me at work, we, of course, have free coffee, and we can get it from many different coffee dispensers downtown, and free parking.
And also, you will be able to deal with people if they want you to come closer to them.
Yes, that's right. We will arrange to go see people as well.
So there's no excuse for not getting the information. And seeing as there's a storm looming in our future financially, it wouldn't hurt to put your mind at rest and to have a plan so that you're prepared. The phone number for Darren, 416-863-7501. That's 416-863-7501. You don't know what you don't know, but you can know a lot more once you've spoken to Darren and the Farwell Group. Thank you, Darren. I look forward to learning more from you next week.
Thank you, Marilyn.
So next, Dr. Betty Rosendahl gives us tips on detoxing, actually, for spring. And then clinician Michelle Tamienko from the Full Mass Clinic shares a happy story. And then we're going to talk about dieting with award-winning family physician Dr. Vivian Brown, author of A Woman's Guide to Healthy Aging. And there's lots more. So you can learn and be empowered to make informed decisions from a woman's perspective right here on Zoomer Radio.